worst part of it is probably odor when you have an undiscovered death. That's probably the worst. I don't know how you would describe the odor, but it's an odor you'll never forget. Pungent. It's a decomposition of proteins. You know yourself, if you have a piece of meat or something that has decayed because your refrigerator went out, it's a horrendous odor. Well, it's the same principle. When you have an undiscovered death, you're dealing with odor, you're dealing with insect infestation, you're dealing with maggots. Sometimes the bodies rupture if it's very warm and the body's been there for a long time, so the area of contamination becomes larger. We don't smell the odor when we're inside actually working because we have respirators on with the appropriate cartridges. But when you pull up, and let's say it's in a condominium on the 3rd floor and you're in the parking lot and you can smell the odor from down there. This person had passed away. He'd been there for quite a while, and he had what's called skin slip. The skin was on the chair, and part of his scalp was on the chair. I needed to disassemble this. The whole chair was disgusting. And as I hit it with the topical barrier, the maggots started coming out. Now, I don't know whether it was the maggots, but I see them all the time, and it doesn't usually bother me. But I bent down to unscrew the base off the chair. I felt very woozy. And so I just kind of stepped away and went off for a minute, got myself composed, and I went back and I was fine. But I couldn't deal with actually working with the cadaver. Some people probably could. I couldn't. I've seen where there's been body parts that have been shredded and pulled apart that we've picked up and put into containers. That, for some reason, doesn't bother me. Because to me, it's just contaminant, and I think that way. If I had to see a body that had been ravaged, I don't think I could deal with that. If it was a child, I know I couldn't. My stepson in 1982 was shot. So after the police had left, then we were faced with what do we do and how do we clean this up? A friend of mine and myself went in and cleaned up. To this day, we really don't know what happened. There were a lot of unanswered questions, and we hired a private investigator. In our opinion, it was a murder. But we'll never know that because the investigation didn't go that far. Within 24 hours, it was deemed that it was a suicide, and that was it. I'm not one that believes in the supernatural. I don't believe in any of that kind of stuff. I know a lot of people do. I don't. But it was just so quiet in there and so eerie. It was a strange feeling because this is somebody I knew, I loved, I cared about, who had a whole life ahead of him that was cut so short. And so you're dealing with all these emotions. We all need to address grief in our own way, whatever way that is. And going in and cleaning up just creates more emotional trauma. I needed somebody in 1982. I needed somebody, and I felt so alone when the police said, "I'm sorry, we can't help you." That was when I decided nobody else should have to go through this. I just said, someday, this is what I'm going to do. I was a hairdresser for 1.5 years, and I just continued on with my life. And then when I made the decision, I sat down and I did a marketing analysis and put a marketing plan together and did a business plan. I knew that this service was needed. But unfortunately, I didn't ask the right question when I did the marketing analysis. I talked to law enforcement, government agencies, and I asked them all these questions. But the one question I didn't ask them was, if somebody needs a recovery company, do you tell them where to go to find one? They will say, sorry, we cannot give you that information. So people don't know where to go.
I thought the police cleaned up.
A lot of people think that. But you have to understand, they do have other issues that they're dealing with. And then who would pay them? My son thought I was crazy. He said, "Do you really think you could do that, Mom?" And I said, "Yeah, I do. I really do. But I have to learn a lot of things." So I went out and I found courses in restoration, how to do structural cleaning, how to do content cleaning, what type of chemicals I would need. And I took a long time to put that all together. I can do everything right in my trunk. I have my own water if I need it. I have a generator on there. If I need hot water, we've got hot water in 6 minutes. Pry bars to pull off drywall and saws and lights. I use disinfectant cleaners, neutral cleaners, alkaline cleaners, acid cleaners. It depends on what surface you're cleaning. We'll use sodium hydrochloride, which is actually bleach. Sometimes we use a glutathione, which is another whole thing, and I'm not going to go into product names, but anyway, it's a glutathione disinfectant, which is not inactivated. Which is not inactivated. No, I don't want to do that. Which is not.
Why not?
Because I'm not making commercials for these people. They don't give me these products for nothing. When you know that there's been somebody that has decomposed in an area, you have a heightened awareness of that odor. It's like, ugh. We use a lot of odor counteractants. We thermofog, which replicates smoke. So you can get into a lot of crevices. Or you can bring ozone generators into the property and we'll break down natural rubber and it will kill plants. So you have to be a little bit careful when you're using that. But that's like a final step in odor removal, a really good final touch. I don't ask too many questions, but obviously we know a little bit about what happened. Okay, fine. There was a shooting, or there was a suicide, or there were 2 people shot and both of them are alive, and, you don't know the details to it yet. You kind of wonder a little bit here and there what may have happened. We just did a job not too long ago, and now we were under the impression that there was a shooting. That's what we were told. It looked like there had been shotguns. But on the other hand, it looked like machete marks up in the ceiling and on countertops and in the walls. So I said, gee, to myself,